Welcome to Escaping Purgatory, a podcast where we rewatch Supernatural and talk it through in hopes we can finally escape this show.
Join us each week and leave comments on upcoming episodes, and together we can escape supernatural purgatory.
Hello? What's all this then?
What is all this? I don't even know. Robbie Thompson, why are you writing people this way? Come on now.
Yeah. So, the episode we're on is season 8, episode 4, Bitten, which I thought it was a found footage one last time, and I was right.
Yes.
Yeah. Is this an episode of Supernatural? Is it really?
I mean, there were supernatural beings in it.
Yeah.
I guess.
There was a point.
I mean,
you know.
Yes, actually, it is a supernatural episode, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because it's contradictory to what we just saw in the last season. When this episode ended, the scream I let out because of what Dean says at the end of this. Yeah. Oh, I was mad. Because I'm pretty sure it was this time last season. I think it was episode 4 of last season. Yeah. He went after Amy.
But he's changed. Purgatory has changed the man. This is the whole point of this episode.
But he's also been going after Sam since the beginning of this season, saying, look, monsters are out there killing things, and this is what we do. We kill monsters. So he hasn't changed that much. And I get it. I get why he doesn't want to go after her, because he knows what she would end up going to. Purgatory. She'd be... And he's just seen this, like, I don't know, final year college student. I don't know how old she is, but like...
Yes.
They're old enough to drink, so at least 21.
Yeah.
Or buy alcohol, so they should at least be 21. And like, she's just like shown them her college life story over the last 2 weeks, essentially. That's what it seems to be, even less than probably. And he's like, oh, she'll never survive in purgatory, so I'm not actually going to go kill her. That's kind of it.
No, I don't think that's why. I think being friends with Benny has given him a new outlook on monsters and the choices that they have once they become monsters. Like, because Benny was definitely turned. I'm sure he told him all about it, you know, and the cravings for blood and all that. And I think it's just humanized him to monsters, having a friend who is also a monster.
But it still doesn't explain why he was going after Sam so hard at the beginning of the season.
Because he's upset that he didn't look for him and isn't hunting anymore. I don't know. The man's a mystery. But, like, I guess it's easy to kill monsters that you don't know the whole backstory of, right?
Yeah. That's the whole point of this episode, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh yeah, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But if you have the backstory, it makes it a whole lot harder. Though I do kind of feel bad that they killed that professor dude, because he was like trying. I know he murdered some people. This is true fact. I know he murdered some people, but I feel like he was trying.
Well, he did, but also he was willing to let a student take the fall for him. So
yeah, that's bad teaching.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. So I'm with him. I'm with them on that. I get rid of the professor, but Brian can. I'm glad that's how he went out. I'll say that. He was such a whiny baby in this episode. Oh my! And like watching it in the current climate of like social media and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, God, we've been dealing with these type of men forever, and suddenly now they just have a larger microphone, and it's so annoying. Annoying.
I agree. Yeah, the whole like manosphere situation angers me to no end. Oh my god. Right.
Oh, blood boiling.
Like, I can't even talk about it. It makes me so angry. And I'm the type of person, I like true crime stuff. I like listening to documentaries about incels, because like I feel like the more you understand these people, it's like a coping mechanism, right? Of like, yeah. Of like, the more you understand these people, maybe like the more chance you have to like protect yourself from them. But like, I don't even know. I feel like there could be perfectly nice people who harbor these kinds of views. And like, that's right as well. Because it's true with like people who are like racist or any kind of like, yeah. And it bothers me.
Yep. And the thing with like the manosphere stuff is that it's so unassuming, like it just infects people, because it's not like it's if you're not their type, let's use an example. If you're not their type, they will like disregard you, you'll be invisible to them. But then as soon as you might be their type and like you don't want anything to do with them, then it becomes your problem. I'm just like, ugh. I'm gonna go through my life and be like, ugh, am I gonna get annoyed at you because you say something stupid to me?
And the thing is, like, it's bad for men too, because like I feel like you can't talk about the issues that affect men, like mental health and social isolation, without someone infiltrating it with these like manosphere ideas. So it's actively just hurting everybody.
Yep.
Just like the patriarchy. Hey.
What?
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. It's like they go hand in hand.
It's almost like social equity and equality would be good for everybody.
Da da da. How did we get so political? Oh, it's supernatural. Of course it's
political.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess coming back to the episode, I may just go on that little detour, but Brian just really, really annoyed me in this episode.
I have a different take on his story. It still doesn't make it any better, but I'm looking forward to getting into that.
Okay. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, like, I'm not sure what we're supposed to glean from this episode. I mean, it's going to lead into the other themes of this season, and I think you get that from the beginning of the episode because there is no recap.
Oh, so true.
You go, like, I feel like this is going to be the important part of Supernatural this season, because we don't want you to remember what's just happened.
Yeah. And I think it's that tone, like the shift that we see in Dean. That's the whole point of this episode. And also it's kind of fun to see them from an outsider's perspective. We've said that before. Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Just having full-on wacky conversations in a restaurant.
Oh, I love them. It's their downfall every time, whenever they have these kind of episodes too. Yeah. But yeah, like I do enjoy that part of it. There were some things like I don't love the found footage genre. Like I don't really enjoy it. I don't like. I get the appeal of it. The only good found footage one is what is it called? There's two actually. There was two I quite like. There's one called Cam Girl. I think it's called Cam, or maybe it's just called Cam, and it's quite good. And it's about like a cam girl who basically has like this was years ago that this was made, and it's so like relevant to now, because it's basically about this cam girl who has like AI / like deep fakes made of her, and they take over her account and how she like gets it back, but it's kind of done as like a thriller horror kind of thing. It's pretty good. It's definitely 18 plus, but it's pretty good, and I think it's on Netflix. And then the other one, which I think might be called Dash Cam or something. What is it called? But it's got the guy who plays Steve Harrington from Stranger Things in it, and it's about him being like crazy driving people around.
That's pretty good. One.
Yeah, those two I like, because I feel like, because what they did it here, which is like egregious. What they do with found footage is sometimes you ask them yourself, how did they get that footage, right? Yeah. There was a part in this one, like, how did they even get that tape? Whereas like when you have a fixed one, like the other movies, like a dash cam or a webcam, where things kind of happen on and off the screen, I kind of like that bit of it. Yeah.
But they went more with like Blair Witch Project, Cloverfield, Paranoid Activity in some points too.
Yeah.
That kind of area, which.
And then they didn't even like really like cash in on the jump scares. I did not feel scared at any point in this.
No, like the best use that they did was when Michael gets captured, like gets bitten.
Yeah.
And he gets like dragged away. That was probably the most like impactful use for a horror genre. Yeah. The rest of it just felt unnecessary. But the one thing I did really like in this is that they put the on-scene credits at the very end when it switched to like supernatural view.
Yeah, I noted that too, actually. I wrote it down in my notes because it's not right until, we get back to Sam and Dean doing their thing where we see them.
And their storytelling back to them. So I did really enjoy that because it did like... I will say, I mean, obviously it was like edited to look like handheld cameras, so the quality is not great and all that kind of stuff. So I did enjoy that they put the effort in to make it look like that and like not make it look pretty.
That's true.
So that aspect of the storytelling I really enjoyed. I just like I said, I'm not a huge fan of found footage. There was nothing likable about any of them. Even Kate, she was just there.
I agree.
As a love interest. And a bit of a wedge between these two guys who didn't even seem like they would even be friends to begin with, necessarily.
Maybe not, I don't know.
But I don't know if you want to get into it.
Let's do it. I'm so ready.
Okay. Cool. So this opening is pretty short because there is no recap. There's a song playing called What's the Matter by Milo Green. It's a pretty nice song. Quite like it.
Song. Yeah.
And we are seeing this room that's just covered in blood splatter everywhere. Like this room is drenched. And there's a body that's been covered in a sheet as well.
Yes.
Sam and Dean like enter this house, guns are blazing, but everyone's dead.
Yeah.
And they're like looking around. The worst piece of acting I've ever seen from Jared in this. He just like lifts his hand and points his finger across Dean, like, look, but doesn't really say it. He was just like, I don't know. It was like finger pointing acting. Okay. Oh no, he says, great, wait a second. Because they've missed the action. He's like, wait a second, and like lifts his... It's such a slow finger lift too.
I didn't even notice it.
It was so silly. And there's a sticky note on the computer that just says "Play me," and he's like, what the hell? And then they open up the computer screen, a laptop screen, and it just says on screen, "This should never have ended this way."
Yeah.
And it goes into the title card.
My favourite bit about that scene is the fact that the music is in universe, so that like Dean takes the iPod out of the thing and it stops. I love it when they do that. Yeah. It's my fave.
Yeah. That's good. He's like, this isn't classic rock. I don't want to listen to this garbage.
I've seen this done so many times where like someone sits down to watch something and they zoom into the screen and it becomes your screen, that like I don't even know what to call it anymore, but that's what they do. Yeah, so it's found footage. This is going to be hard to describe, but I feel like we can do it. Basically, we see two guys. There's one who's like a jock looking guy. He's got blonde hair-ish. He's called Michael. I thought he was a Dean stand-in, I'll be honest, in this.
Yeah, me too, a little bit.
Because I thought that he was supposed to be a Dean stand-in. One, because he acts like him all the time, and two, because his name is Michael.
Oh,
I thought he was supposed to be Dean. But then, like, his story doesn't really parallel Dean's in much of a way, I felt. So I think it might have just been a coincidence. I was trying to connect it the whole time. I was like, oh, how are they paralleling Dean with this character? And I guess like being changed by an experience, aka purgatory,
Yeah.
And being kind of, elated but also freaked out about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not having so much control of your actions, possibly linked to the PTSD. But I felt like I was clutching at straws about halfway through the episode.
So one thing with this episode is that it does, like, it moves really slowly.
Yeah, it does.
To get to the point of like, oh, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah, I feel it's padded out a lot. But I think that's the kind of found footage genre, though. There's a lot of stuff that just, like, nothing happens for a long time.
Because they have to explain, like, because if you think about your day-to-day life, like, nothing really happens day-to-day that's really remarkable that you would want to film it.
No.
So, but we have to, like, find out who these people are. So we have to see all of this to really get to the point. And, like, this is where it doesn't feel like a supernatural episode, because we're spending so much time with new characters, people that we will like, I mean, we'll see one of them again, but we won't see any of them ever again. And even then, we don't really get any sort of background to any of these people, because we don't even know what they're in college for. We don't know what grade, like what year they're in at college or anything.
I did some kind of English stuff, or maybe they are supposed to be like a movie school, because they're doing Lord of the Flies, and I feel like there are a lot of Lord of the Flies reference in this episode, and I'll just tell everyone now, I've never read Lord of the Flies. I've not even watched the movie. No. Nope. Didn't have to do it at school, never read it, heard it was bad.
Yeah. I think I know the basic plot of it, but like the nuances of it all, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, these two guys are film geeks. The Brian, who's the darker haired man, is more into filming, I feel, but they all film each other all the time. That's how we have all this found footage stuff. So let's just bear in mind that most of the things that we're watching, they're holding a camera. And it's like an old school camera too. If this was done now, and I feel like they did do this in later Supernatural seasons, it would be shot on a phone.
It'd be shot on a phone, and this would all be live streamed. It wouldn't have been edited like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They would have been like IRL streamers.
Oh yeah, that's true. So it's quite interesting seeing an old school camcorder. I used to have one. I loved it.
I'm not sure if there was one in my house. I don't know if it was mine. No, it wasn't mine. No.
I specifically asked for one. It came with like little tapes. So I can't play anything that I ever shot on it or know where it is anymore. So never mind.
Well, you just get a cable, like the AV to USB.
I think I filmed over stuff anyway. I probably have a lot of footage of us when we were younger, actually.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, they're filming each other. They're talking about filming stuff. Like, I think he's just got a new camera, maybe, because they're chatting about it. So Brian wants to make a movie. He doesn't know what the movie's going to be about at all. He's like pointing at these girls, talking about like the fact they're going to like make it. No, okay, stop.
I'm not saying anything.
No, I'm stopping. Yeah, the movie, they're talking about making it about themselves, and then they talk about like all the people around them and stuff. It's very like boring. But this bit of the scene, so yeah, Michael's talking about himself, saying he's brave, shockingly handsome, virile young man, and his faithful, he says learning disabled, which is robotic manservant must battle through waves of cybernetic asshats to sexually liberate women. And he like turns it to some women. When he turns it to the women, I felt in my heart that Robbie Thompson meant for Brian to be in love with Michael this whole time. And I know at the end, he's like, I was in love with you, Kate. I don't think that's true.
No.
Through my queer lens, I really think that throughout all of this, Brian was in love with Michael, and that's why he didn't really like Kate. And I think he only wanted her because Michael had her, essentially.
Yeah, I agree. Especially since the way he reacts to Kate as well.
Yeah.
Like, there are moments in this that I'm like, did you really have to do that in front of your roommate kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, he was definitely in love with Michael.
And like so many things in this, Brian was... I'm surprised they didn't make more of it. Maybe this is like standards on television or whatever that they couldn't do it, because I'm sure this was how this is supposed to play out, that he was going to reveal at the end that he was in love with Michael, because when Michael gets eventually turned, he just wants to be like him, you know, and join him in this like werewolf situation. Well, spoilers, it's werewolves. Like, I don't know. And I feel like they got so close to revealing that, and then his like confession to Kate at the end just feels off, because I don't think he ever liked her.
So the conversation that Michael and Brian, we're gonna get there, but it's fine. It's the conversation that Michael and Brian have in the kitchen after Michael's been bitten. It's like showing off his powers, and he's like, "You don't want to be like me."
Yeah,
I think Michael's actually bisexual and like could be into Brian.
Yeah,
but like he just sees him as a friend, and he's like, "You don't want to be like me because I don't know what I'm doing right now because I'm confused. Not confused, but like I'm exploring this other side of me right now."
Yeah. Interesting. I could see that.
Because we see Michael cry, which is really unusual for like such a big dude. So that's why I'm like, he's not entirely straight.
You can't say that because a guy is crying on screen. You cannot make that assumption.
For 2012.
Yeah. You're right, for 2012. Yeah, I get it. Timings. I don't know. I feel like this whole thing is a queer love story, right? Here's my play, right? People tell me if I'm wrong. I think Brian is deep in the closet. He wants to be like Michael. He talks to him several times about like wanting to get some ass, like as in women. But we know that he's not interested because I think he's clearly gay. So when I think this is going full metaphorical and we're not getting this episode at all. Michael turning into a werewolf is his like symbolizing his like embracing his heteronormative lifestyle with Kate. And I think that like Brian so desperately wants to follow him into that like heteronormative life, but ultimately he ends up being ripped apart by a woman. Because that's not who he was supposed to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I slept on this. And I feel like they're trying to tell a story here and then just didn't go fully with it. People tell me if I'm talking shit, bad things. Like, I don't know. I was so convinced in this that Brian was in love with Michael, and then the story was like, didn't go in the direction I expected it to at the end. Even though I watched this episode before.
Yeah. I mean, he clearly is obsessed with Michael.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not necessarily like, I don't think he can differentiate between obsession and love.
Yeah.
So I think he thinks he's in love with Michael, but he just wants to emulate. Yeah, no, I agree. Yep. No, I'm 100% backing your theory on this.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Robbie Thompson, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, you're the only one who can.
Because it doesn't feel right, because Kate is the only woman around them.
Yes.
And like now he's jealous.
Yeah.
But he's not, like, his disdain for her is so clear throughout this whole entire episode. And it's because he's losing his best friend to her.
He both wants Michael and wants to be him. Like, there's that whole dichotomy of like, I want to be you, I want to be more like you, and I'm in love with you. That's definitely throughout this episode. Like, yeah. Which was interesting that I came to that conclusion at the end of this episode, because at the beginning of this episode, where they're talking about Brian as a robotic manservant, I was like, wait, is he a cast stand-in? And then I was fully there. I was like waiting for them to be like, oh yeah, this is just a Dean and Cass parallel, but I think that's not the one. I don't think that's the one. That's how deluded my brain is.
No, honestly, this probably did start out as like a fan fiction episode in Robbie Thompson's mind, right? Because this is for sure. And then the executive producers / writing supervisors were like, look, man, we like what you're doing, but you can't be writing this right now.
No, not right now. I'm just saying, there's the tall, blondish jock one. There's the dark-haired, nerdish, socially awkward one. If they're not Dean and Cass, then who are they?
Who are they?
I don't think that's the direction they were going. I'm just delusional.
and then
yeah.
all of the I hated the references to like the like thinking that there's some sort of partnership between Sam and Dean in this.
Oh yeah, that was weird and out of the box. Like, why would you? Yeah. Okay, whatever.
I get that, you know, these two men are not supposed to be like related, but like if you saw two people acting that way, I don't know, I wouldn't go first to lovers. I don't think.
I feel they. Again, I feel like we're playing on the Mulder Scully trope, except we can't do that with Sam and Dean because, like, I don't know, they're brothers. Right. But I think that was, and also they acknowledge it all the time that people ship them in the show. Like they do that.
Yeah.
So fine. Like that's what they chose to do.
Yeah. Office romance, right?
So yeah, back to the scene after a 20-minute detour. Ultimately, essentially what happens is they zoom in on Kate, and then Kate comes over to them and she knows stuff about cameras. So she's doing things like with them too, saying, "Hey, I know about cameras," and she takes one off them. She even says to Brian, like, "Your settings are way off," and he's like, "You know, I like the way, like the colors. Oh, you probably don't care." So she flirts with Michael. Michael flirts back. She says, "I have a thing for guys with cool cameras." Cut to them clearly getting busy because she comes out of the like double doors they have in their shared house. How did these two college guys afford this? I don't even know. She's wearing the shirt that Michael was wearing, so they clearly got it on, like inferred. But yeah, they're staying in this big old house. The two of them, Brian and Michael, presumably. And then Kate moves in, which, like, fine, it's college. That stuff happens all the time. But I don't understand how two of them are affording this big house. That would need at least 5 students.
Well, so I think the thing is, right, this house looks really run down. So I'm wondering if, like, they just rented it from, like, a person who just doesn't look after the house. And so, like, they can get it for cheaper. And, again, because we don't know who these people are, this guy has a lot of equipment. Like, he's got multiple cameras, all this like editing equipment. So who's to say that they're like not well off, right? And that he can't just afford this. Fine.
I will say the rundown aspect. Have you ever seen UK student accommodation? The things that landlords rent to students. Yeah, my university house for 2 years was disgusting. Like black mold up the walls, holes in the walls, like broken stuff all the time, no heating, and like we were still paying ridiculous rent. So you know, I feel like this is peak student. It's very much like the Young Ones. Have you ever seen the Young Ones? Very old 80s. Oh, you'd love it. It's got like Rick Mayall, and their house was like trashed. There was 4 of them living there. It's supposed to be like university students. If no one's ever watched The Young Things, it's the weirdest, most surreal thing you'll ever watch, and it's worth it. It's really worth it.
Put that on my list.
Yeah.
What I find really funny about this house, though, is like, clearly it's 2 levels.
Yes.
But it seems like they either sleep on the couch or in like that room in the back, and like, if you were living in this house and your roommate is getting on with another girl, not another girl, but your roommate's getting on with a girl, would you really be sitting in your editing bay with that going on in the background?
I don't know. Like,
it's weird.
I feel like there's almost like a defiance thing from Brian of like, this was our space first. I'm not vacating it for your shenanigans.
Yeah.
You know? But no, I agree.
It's just it's giving creep and stalker.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy Brian's character at all.
Nope.
I agree. Like he plays like an incel. I think in modern times.
Yes.
It like they've ultimately played it off as like bitter friend because you're like stealing my friend. He was my friend first, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. So we cut to a cafe and Kate is talking to Brian about a different lens that he has in his camera. And he kind of says to her, like, Michael doesn't know anything about cameras, right? And Kate's like, yeah, but I'm teaching him. Michael walks up joins that conversation, like, teaching who? And she's like, oh, my boyfriend, big, tall, handsome. So we're establishing that they're like dating now. It's not just like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
And they're being all like PDA together. Back at the house, they're having this conversation that Brian is filming about what they're going to do in the future. Kate wants to be a lawyer. Maybe that's part of it as well. It's like, lawyer. Dean thinks that, like, oh, this is like Sam. Kate and Sam are the same person.
Yeah. Which makes it even funnier that she looks so much like Meg 1.0 because Meg 1.0 is the one who possesses Sam.
She looks so much like Meg. It's actually wild that they chose her. Yeah. Like, honestly, she really, really, really does.
Same hair, similar haircut. I think her like hair at the front is a bit longer than Meg's.
But even her face, like, she really looks like her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's talking about, she wants to do something good with her life. And Brian's agreeing, and Michael calls them hippies. Brian wants to work for like HBO or Michael Moore.
Ooh, what?
That
didn't age well.
That didn't age well at all. Yep. And Michael wants to be in a boat in the middle of the ocean with a beautiful girl by his side, and she's like, "Ah," and he's like, "Hi, you can come too." So funny.
Don't be this mean to your girlfriend. Just like, if you don't like her, you don't like her.
It's cool. She got the joke. It's all good. We then filming inside a college lecture theatre. They're talking about Lord of the Flies. They're talking about a character called Piggy, who I'm assuming is like a social outcast character, right? That's the whole point of this, because Brian refers to himself later as Piggy.
Yeah. Because I was like, what are they talking about? Him? Where did this? I completely glossed over this, that it was a Lord of the Flies reference. As in, like, I missed it in the episode, and then I was like, what are you talking about? You don't want to be Piggy, you want to be Ralph. Who gave you this nickname? I don't understand. Where are we?
And it does say on their slides this is actually their first year, so they're like 18, right? What age are you when you start college in the US?
Yeah, I guess 18. Yeah.
I mean, just because they're drinking don't mean they're of age.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's talking about the fact that Piggy is like, smart, but like a social outcast, but he's rational. So he's Brian, Mm-hmm. They talk about more Lord of the Flies stuff when they go back outside, and then there's this like bully. People still bullying each other at college, like, come on. Called Scott, and he kind of like barges into Brian and knocks his camera down. So he's like worried about his camera, and Scott's just like he's just a dick. Essentially,
he's a preppy bastard.
Yeah. And again, like, do people really bully each other in college like that? That's high school stuff, you know?
Well, I don't know. I actually don't know. No. Because the only sort of American college experience is like through media. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm just thinking of like frat houses and sorority houses, and like that feels very much like hazing kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, hazing does exist in UK universities, but it's usually by sports societies. Let's be honest.
So, yeah.
So there's some like police sirens and stuff, and they go and look at the crime scene. How they're able to walk this close to a crime scene where there's clearly like a dead body, I don't know. Why is the cordon not wider? Also, they film this whole thing and they can hear what everyone is saying, and there's no way There is
My
no
favorite
way.
trope in this episode, and they do it in other shows too, but like they zoom in and they can suddenly hear.
Yeah. That's not how
I
cameras
love
work,
it
man.
so much.
That's not how cameras work. I did like the Impala, like zooming up in the back, like pulling from the background. That really,
Yeah.
I don't know, it tickled my fancy, and I quite enjoyed that.
And it just shows how like big and cumbersome and how much it stands out that like
Yeah.
it's not a G-Wagon.
No. It's like rumbling from a mile away, you know. It's
And
wild.
I also love that like the headlights, like I can't remember exactly, but the way it looks,
Yeah.
from what I recall, is that they get so close that their lights go under the police tape.
Just interjecting
And
themselves
nobody
into a
yells at
situation.
them.
I feel like, and this is so mean, but I'm gonna say it. I feel like every single scene where Sam and Dean are in this episode was done in one take.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh god,
It's
yeah.
really bad. The acting is awful from everybody involved. Like the kids in this are fine. I think their acting is quite good. Whenever like Sam and Dean are talking to a person, they look like stiff weirdos.
Well, so I think this feels a little bit like when they did it with the Ghost Facers, where we got like, because Dean swears in that episode. He curses. So I'm wondering if like, because we're watching it, this is another like, is this God, is it not? We're not seeing it from God's lens. We're not seeing it from Chuck's lens. So they're not suave. They're not very persuasive. They're not like, they're just two dudes who somehow can convince all these people of these like amazing feats. But like actually they're just two really awkward guys who just like show up at places.
You're so right. And that's why we get the credits at the end, because we're like going back to like God's perspective on this.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, yeah, because you're right. Whenever we see them from like outsiders, they're weird. They're just weird guys.
They are.
There's some really good bits about them in this episode too. So they introduce themselves as Rose and Hudson, which is quite good. And the detective asks what they're doing, and Dean's like, our jobs, which was great. So they explain about this whole thing. This person got attacked. The neighbor found them. The person is called Jacob Carter. And the kids are listening to all of this. They can hear everything, as we said, very clearly. And they basically, Sam asks if the witness is still there. You know, the detective tells them that the witness is not the most reliable. She said she heard some kind of growl, like there was a coyote down here. And Dean says, awesome. So back at their like house again, they're talking about the fact that the FBI is there. Kate's asking Brian if it's cool that his neighbor got murdered. And Brian's like, no, you know, it's good that the FBI is here, right? Then Michael comes in and is like, listen to this, and he plays this song, the same song at the beginning of the episode, because it turns out that was the song that was on the radio in the cafe place where they were when they first met. That's quite cute. I will say that is sweet. Yeah, and Kate says so. And they did a little kiss. But then Brian interrupts and was like, let's go. And Michael's like, yeah.
Don't give me that crap. I know you two idiots are gonna go shoot cutscenes for Jackass.
Come on. We both know he has nobody else to do this with.
And I think that's really sweet of Michael to be like, look, I'm this guy's only friend. Mm-hmm. Like, I know he says it in a bit of like a condescending way about him to Kate, but he's also acknowledging that he wants to go spend time with him. I don't know. I thought it was quite sweet, but maybe it's not. So it's nighttime. They're doing stuff in the woods. Oh no, they're not. They're not doing stuff in the woods yet. Michael and Brian are filming a sports field, and Brian's trying to climb a tree. I mean, this is classic I have a camera stuff.
Yep. You have a camera at like 15 years old. I'm going to go film myself doing anything and everything.
Exactly. They see Sam and Dean interviewing some people, and they kind of like watch them through the bushes. I don't know how Sam and Dean didn't even like clock them at all, but whatever. They're literally right by them, like wiggling about in a bush.
Yeah.
They catch Sam and Dean having a conversation. Sam is doubting that there's even a case.
Yeah.
Dean's like, no, there is a case. You're rusty. You've got to dig a little deeper. Come on. And so off they go. That's when Michael says, is it me or just getting a workplace romance vibe from these two? To be fair, they are, like, you wouldn't expect brothers to be working together. Like, that would be weirder, actually, I feel, than them being married.
I guess so, but like their interactions
involved.
don't seem that like workplace romance to me.
I guess, I don't know, like maybe the fact they like boss each other around, they just have a very weird dynamic.
I guess
They
so.
do have an unusual way about them. So off Michael and Brian go, they see like two people making out by the bleachers. And then like, I don't even know what this was. Like, I thought that this guy was going to be a werewolf, but I think he's
Me
just
too.
a dick.
Yep, that is what he is.
Yeah. Because the girl is like asking him to stop and he's like, no. And then she shoves him off and like storms off. And like these two guys are just laughing at him, but I feel like they should have intervened. You know?
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have been recording these two people, even though it's a public place and what have you. But like, you don't record people getting it on. Like that's just sort of
like
consent
decency.
101.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's good if like, well, no, it's not. But had Scott done more, they would have video evidence of it. But I feel like these are the type of kids who would be like, oh shit, we have to delete this.
Yeah, I feel so
as
too.
well. Yeah, it felt weird. I didn't like seeing this.
No.
Yeah. Because
only thing
Brian even says like it'll look great on YouTube because like this guy got rejected, but like no.
But like Brian basically does the same thing to Kate when he bites her later on in the episode, right? It's like a non-consensual attack on her, and like you could equate it to this situation.
100%.
It's showing his character here of like, well, I don't really care about the girl. I just want to film something cool and like get one over on this Scott guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has much like moral fiber to be like stepping in and being like, hey. And neither does Michael, to be fair. They're saying the same thing.
True.
Basically, this Scott guy catches them filming him and tries to run after them. They split up to get away from him, but he's mostly chasing Michael, I think, right? I think he's chasing Michael.
No, he first starts chasing Brian.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, they split off and Scott takes off after Brian. Michael keeps running for ages for some reason and ends up in the woods. And he shouts, which I thought was pretty funny. He was like, Brian, meet me at Scott's mother's house. Oh yeah, then he turns and he runs after Michael. That's why he like baits him, trying to get him away from Brian.
Probably because he knows that he's faster.
Exactly, and he'll probably like beat the crap out of Brian, but he may not do to him. I don't know. Maybe there's some like more respect between them. Not sure.
I think Michael's just bigger.
Yeah, that might as well. So there's like a growling noise coming from the trees as he's running through the woods, and this was the scariest bit. Like there's loads of like bushes and stuff around, and eventually we hear like him get gawked. It's all like close to the camera, like yeah, and eventually the camera falls down, and he's like led on the ground, and we see him just get yanked off screen. It's very good.
That was the best part of this episode.
Okay, so we switch back to like Brian's point of view, and he's looking for Michael. He eventually finds him like basically passed out in the woods. But instead of like, ringing any kind of like emergency services or anything, he decides to drag him back to his house.
I know, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, because he sees a bite wound on his shoulder, and you're just like, that you don't take him to the hospital.
Could be rabies, man. Rabies is fatal 100% of the time if you don't go to the hospital and get a shot. 100%.
And like, yes, just choices were made.
Yeah. The person I was watching this with commented that the fact that Michael's breathing really hard, he's like, and he's still doing it even when they're back at the house. So how long was he like doing that for? Just like really hard.
You know, I didn't pick that up, so I have no comment.
Like, he would have passed out by now if he kept doing that. So they go in the house. Brian's calling Kate. It's all panicking. She's like, "Oh my god, baby!" Brian's explaining something bit him. Oh yeah, and Kate rings for help. You know, the calm head in the situation.
Yep.
As she's on the phone to 911, they notice that the bite wound is gone, like completely gone. Mm-hmm. So she hangs on the phone. They must have seen a doctor because that Brian and Kate are talking at the table saying that a doctor said he would be fine. Literally not scratching the kid, and like Kate is saying, you know, if anything happens to Michael, like I don't know what I'd do. Michael eventually like comes in, and as he walks through to the bathroom, he like rips the door off its hinges, and they both look at him like, "Whoa, dude, what did you do?" And they think it's just like real funny.
Yeah.
We then like cut again, and it's Michael like holding something heavy up, and then they pan out, and it's Kate. She must have excellent core strength to be able to do that.
Oh god, yeah.
Because like, she's not just like flopping in his arms.
So the funny thing is that the way that they film, obviously you can get away with it because these are like amateur like film people, right?
Yeah.
But like her upper hip is cut off, so I'm like, they must be having wires up there to like hold her up.
There's no way that she was that horizontal, because
No.
I haven't seen like professional dancers look that horizontal being held up in the air, you know? They could have made it a little bit more like, I don't know, realistic. It was silly.
Yeah, it was very silly. But like, how else are you going to show like holding her up one-handed? That's like so difficult to even do as a person, like without her like standing, because it makes it more difficult if she's like lying on her side. There was something about this whole little scene that just clicked with me.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the movie Chronicle?
No.
With Michael B. Jordan. It's a found footage superhero movie. But the superhero in it he's kind of like Brian. He's kind of like a bit of a loner. Yeah. And he's the one who ends up getting superpowers and like goes insane, basically.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I have powers now. But, oh no, all of them do. And they do the exact same thing when they figure out that they have powers. Yeah. They start filming each other and the extent of their powers. So like this actually made sense to me that this is what like a bunch of teenagers would actually end up doing. Like if one of them had powers. It's
like Heroes, where they're like that girl who's like immortal, so she like jumps off loads of stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like that. Yeah. I'm like, that is 100% what people would do, I feel. Not me, I'd be keeping it secret. You don't know I don't have superpowers. You don't know, because I don't brag about it on the internet.
Yeah, but if you'd found out in senior school.
Yeah, I would have been dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, I would have been dumb. So, yeah, he holds her up one-handed, and it's amazing. And then they're all, like, elated about this, like, thinking he is some kind of superhero or something. Mm-hmm. We see them later, and Brian's like tapping away as Kate's kind of theorizing what he is. He says like, you know, maybe you got bit by an alien. That would explain the FBI. And Brian's like, maybe a mutant. And Michael's asking like, am I a superhero now? And then we cut again, and Brian is like setting up hidden cameras, but he tells Kate about it. It's just to film Michael, which like plays into my whole theory of like he's like obsessed with him because he yeah, go on.
Sorry, he puts a camera in the bathroom.
Yeah, why? Weird.
Why? Mm-hmm.
That's just no, absolutely not. No. Brian explains that this is going to be his movie, like the superhero angle of his friend, without his consent or anything. He hasn't told Michael he's going to be in his movie. Yeah, he's a crappy dude. So this really annoyed me for stupid reasons. Michael is sat at the table putting peanut butter on a bagel, and he does like a really good job with the first one. Like he puts a lot of peanut butter on that bagel. That second bagel had one singular swipe of peanut butter, and then he starts eating it. Did you notice this too?
I did notice this too, and it's because you can't talk with peanut butter in your mouth, so they couldn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Also, you're in America. That would be a PB&J bagel.
Oh, I could eat that. I could so eat that. I'm so hungry. Yeah, I could eat that. Oh, I need some peanut butter. Michael, while eating this bagel, or peanut butterless part of his bagel, says,
Kind of creeping me out, man. Seriously. Nothing super heroic to see here. Just a delicious bagel.
I like Michael. I'm sad what happens to him. And Brian's saying, you know, I had this idea. It's going to sound real weird. So this is him telling Michael about the fact he wants to do the movie.
Yeah.
But
No.
it's not, is it? It sounds like it's going to be that. But then he says to him, like,
I really want to be able to do what you do. So I think maybe we could go back out there and get that thing to bite me, and then we could both be superheroes.
Stop! What, are you serious?
you know, he wants to be him. He wants to join his world.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's like, no, absolutely not. Brian's like, you can't keep to yourself. So Michael is obviously a bit more cautious because he's like, we don't even know what it is. We don't know what it was. Like, why would you ever want to do that? And Brian says, I don't want to be piggy anymore. I don't think Michael understands the reference because he says you're not a pig.
Yeah.
Because he's been sleeping through the classes, that's why.
Exactly.
And he's giving some life advice. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. You just got to figure out what it is you want and go after it. Like, I'm telling you, you don't want this.
Mm-hmm. I kind of wish they expanded on that a little bit as well, because like clearly Brian knows there's something. Sorry, not Brian. Sorry, Michael knows that there's something going on within him that he doesn't feel super heroic.
No,
because he's starting to get like the werewolf side coming out now that he's like healed. So it's just like, yeah, he's got like a monster in him. He's telling him what to do in his head.
exactly. But he must be having wild side effects. I think he's really hungry. We see him eating a lot. So, yeah. And Brian is like, you know, I don't, you know, because I don't want to be super strong or have a prayer of getting any ass this year. Like, please, please. He's like real begging with him. And Michael just says, no.
No.
So again, we cut later to Brian on his computer. And there's a knock on the door. Michael and Kate, like, saying, like, not it, because they're, like, hanging on the sofa. And as Brian looks through the peephole, it's the FBI. They, like, panic. I love the way they, like, hide their bong.
I know, right?
It's so big. It's such a big bong. No need for it to be that big.
Yeah.
Like, less worried about the fact that he's, like, some kind of alien, more worried about their, like, weed.
Well, because it's the FBI. They I know they made, like, a reference to X-Files-ish. But, like, they're more concerned with drugs.
Yeah, that's fair. So Brian opens the door for them. Kate's got her camera. That's how this was getting filmed. So Sam says hi there, and Brian's like hi. They introduce themselves again as Rose and Hudson, asking about the murder that occurred. And he's like, first of all, did you know Jacob Carter? And Brian's like, no. And he says, do you remember anything unusual? And Brian's like, no. Sam says, Have you heard anyone in the neighborhood getting bit? And he's like, humor me. Brian's like, no. It's like, oh, okay. This is Sam. How about this? If you hear anything strange, call us. And he gives him his card, like, no matter how late. So they got away with that one. Brian closes the door. But we see Dean is still through the camera that Kate's holding, talking to Sam outside, saying, like, what do you think?
Well, based on what we got so far, we could be dealing with another Mayan god.
Ah, that's fantastic, because the other one was such a joy.
Why would you go with a zebra versus a horse?
I know, right? They've seen one Mayan god. I don't understand how they didn't get werewolves. No, there was a reason they didn't get werewolves, because it doesn't follow a pattern, right? Of like full moons.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So that's why they're a bit confused.
But like the way that the Mayan god was killing them was like clean. It wasn't messy.
I don't know. Yeah, like again, like this looks like a werewolf. And I know that alphas exist. Like you don't. He reads up in John's journal, right, or some book.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he reads up in the journal because they just don't refer to them as alpha. They refer to them as a pureblood, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
Because John didn't know alphas existed, but like, you're telling me you've never read that before, you know? I just feel like if I was them, I'd be reading John's journal like all the time on my own downtime.
I'm also trying to think the last time they actually came across a werewolf. It's been a really long time. I think
a long time.
Maddie can't be the last time they come across a werewolf, but I honestly cannot remember.
I think it might be.
Since then.
Yeah. I mean, I guess monsters are a little rarer because the Leviathan did kind of like kill off a bunch of them.
That's true. So I don't think they've gone after werewolves, but when Eve was going out making a whole bunch, they did talk about werewolves and that. But like the Campbells were handling it.
I literally can never say the word werewolves without thinking, we're werewolves, not swearwolves. Every single time. Every time I say the word werewolves, just know in my heart, I'm thinking about swearwolves.
What is that from?
It's from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's again, highly recommended. I've given out so many like tips today. The TV show and the movie, both good. So yeah, I think Sam and Dean are dumb in this episode. I don't understand why they weren't thinking werewolves. Like when they were doing the Mayan gods, they were like, "Oh, it's werewolves," except it's too clean. And now that it looks like werewolves, they're like, "Nah, it couldn't be."
Right, it's a Mayan god.
So Michael comes back into the room carrying their bong. Brian says, "The FBI are looking for what bit you. Are you an X-File?" And Kate says, "No, he's not an X-File." She plays back the bit of them talking about the Mayan god. And Michael's like, "I'm a golden god." Is this an Always Sunny reference or is this the wrong time? It must come from something else.
Don't know.
But anyway, he's really happy about it. And Kate's just like, "You're ridiculous." While Kate's sound asleep, Michael gets up and goes to the bathroom. And he's like, "I'm a god." Who does this? Who does this? I have hyped myself up in the mirror. Let's not pretend that doesn't happen. And she's just like, "Get a grip, girl. Get together."
Also, you don't take a camcorder in there with you and record yourself while you're doing the hype.
No, I've never done that.
No.
That would be embarrassing. What the end up on the internet, you know?
Right.
And then we see his eyes change. They like his pupils go big, and then when they come back down, it's like his eyes have changed color.
Mm-hmm.
And off screen, because he's filming his eyes, you hear like that crunching noise of his teeth coming in. They didn't want to do the visual effects on that. And we see them. And then they do show his finger. Oh, no, I can't do myself in fingernails. Like, I thought it was really interesting that his fingernail comes out of like the top of his cuticle.
Yeah.
Like in the skin. You can see it come through. Like, not like Wolverine.
More like,
yes.
Oh, from the second
Sabretooth
movie. No.
I was gonna say,
yes, Sabretooth. Yes,
Sabretooth,
actually,
yes.
you're right.
Yeah.
But there's also the other mutant who has similar abilities who gets her fingernails are adamantium too.
I think hers come out of like the pads of her fingers there.
Oh,
they come out the top. Yeah, I just have a feeling, but I might be wrong. But yeah, it's like that, like an X-Men. And then it must hurt because he like punches the mirror in anger, it looks like. We then see him go back to Kate and like stroke her face with his claws, his gross werewolf claws. And he's so hungry. He's like trying to eat everything in the kitchen, but it's like, it's not doing it, you know? It's just not doing it. And eventually he grabs his jacket and heads out. It's nighttime. It's a college campus still. We see Scott and two other guys being weird. Like, this is funny, right?
Vigilantes,
because, yeah. I feel like the worst people will go out and like pretend they're patrolling the streets to like protect women.
Yes.
I don't know, you know?
And what makes it worse is that they're protecting people by going after an animal that they don't know what animal it could be. Because they literally could just go out and like hurt someone's dog who might have just escaped.
Exactly. They're like actively dangerous. They are out and about with weapons. They have like bats and stuff. Baseball bats, all sorts of things. One's got a hockey stick, which is hilarious to me. But you can still do a lot of damage with that. Yeah, I don't understand that kind of thinking either.
No.
So Scott's filming him. This was the bit where I'm like, how did they get this Scott's footage? How did she cut Scott's footage into this film? Unless Michael stole his phone or what camera? I would say camera. Not
well, no,
phone.
because it wasn't Scott who was... No, it was. Okay, yeah.
It was, yeah.
But
He's
so-
filming himself,
Oh, I don't even know.
right? I was like, how did they get this footage to put into a film? Unless Michael, I guess, stole the camera. But
I
I don't
guess
feel
he
like
did.
he'd be in his like right mind to do that.
No. And like when he comes back into the house, he's not
He doesn't have a
carrying
camera,
anything.
No. So how did they get this footage? This is what annoys me about found footage stuff, because sometimes
Yeah.
you're like, how did they get this?
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, there's no logical reason they should have this footage of this happening.
No.
So there's these three guys, Scotty P with the Oak Hill crew, Doug and Evan.
And Tucker. God, they're all awful names.
They're
All
honestly,
fraternity douchebag names.
yeah. They say they want to make it safe for all the honeys. Come on.
Ugh.
They film Michael, who's seen carrying like 2 full plastic bags. I just assume it was like the rubbish from his takeout. I think that's what he was doing.
I think
Probably
he'd gone out to get more food, actually.
Oh, that makes that makes more sense. I don't know why I thought he was getting rid of trash. He didn't even show him carrying that out, so that makes so much more sense. He's got loads of food. And Michael's like, back off, like not tonight, and he looks so mad. Scott's still baiting him, and then we just hear like the plastic bags like drop on the ground. And then Mike was like, what is the word? Like legging it. He's legging it down the path in full pace. Scott goes after him and saying to him, like, why do you take your beating like a man? And then he is looking for him in the like bushes, threatening Kate. He's like, come out. This is what I mean, right? They're out protecting the honeys. He's threatening to go sexually assault his girlfriend. Like, why are people like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then we hear like a growl, and we see Michael like, rah! And Scott screams. And like, he was a douche. So, like, but probably didn't deserve to get his heart ripped out. But he shouldn't have been a douche.
this is true. If you had just stayed at home and not tried to protect the honeys, it would have been fine. And you know what? You would have done more protecting by staying at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No.
I like this episode is just like a lesson in how mad I can get at the current stuff that's going on in the world, not what was going on in 2012. Oh, there's been no progress. It's gotten worse.
Yeah. Well, it's because of media like this that make it out. Well, luckily, all the douchebags die in this episode.
Yeah, they don't make out like it's a good thing. Everyone does, in fact, die.
So, and I mean, Brian has a pretty awful death, so
Oh yeah, that's true.
well deserved. Well deserved.
You think
But
so?
like,
I don't think fine. I don't think it's
Being
that
ripped-
bad. I think he's a bad dude. I don't think we can condone his like ripped apart death. I think he should have
Like
been made
Kate?
to live as a
Yeah.
werewolf. I think he should have been made to live as a
No.
werewolf.
he violated Kate.
Yeah, and I think a good punishment would have been to him like live with his error of becoming a werewolf. No?
He wouldn't reflect on it. He got the power that he wanted.
Yeah, you're probably right. He would have done some like gnarly things with that power. I think, he needed to. Yeah, fine. Fine. I agree with
He
you.
would turn any woman that he wanted.
Oh, gross. Yeah, you're so right. Yeah.
So, no. So yeah, we are now in the morning, and Brian and Kate are just sort of filming as they do. And Brian is like, "Can I ask you something? With everything that happened, are you afraid of him?" And Kate has some weird takes. She's like, at first, yeah, but like, actually now it's pretty hot. She's a monster fucker.
She is.
That's
and I
fine.
respect the hell out of her for that.
But I don't know.
No, she's fulfilling the dark romantasy trope.
I
Except
guess so.
her boyfriend actually is a monster, and he will eat her. Eventually.
I don't think he ever would. I don't actually think he would eventually turn on her.
I don't know. He already ate a human heart, and that was like that was the thing. So like, yeah,
That's true.
So I think
true.
it was not
If he
good-
hadn't
good
done
time.
that,
Yeah, it would have been
he'd probably
okay.
be all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michael comes in and he's like covered in blood, like all around his mouth and down his shirt. It then cuts to the shower, and Michael explains what happened, and like Brian is still filming, like his confession, and Kate turns to him and is like, "Turn that off! Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
But he still gets all of that footage because he's got a camera in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, you're right. What?
Ugh.
Yeah. No, he's a total creep. Creep bag. Yeah.
And Michael explains that, Scott was talking about Kate, and the next thing I remember, I was running home. Mm-hmm. And Brian's like, what was the things on your hands? The claws? And they're sort of trying to figure out, like, if anybody saw what happened. Mm-hmm. And, like, this is one thing I read. I just didn't understand where Brian's anger was coming from in this scene. Like, he's like, you killed somebody. Why are you trying to justify Michael's actions? And I'm like, dude, you wanted to have the same power too, and you still want this power. Like, why are you so mad at Michael for killing somebody?
I didn't understand his motivation either. Like, I don't understand where the anger comes from. Maybe that Michael was the one to kill Scott and not him.
You know what? It's power fantasy. Yeah. Because Scott was the one that ran into Brian, knocked his camera down. Yeah. He was the one who was initially chased. So he wanted to go after Brian himself, I'm sure. And he took away his power fantasy.
I think so.
Yeah. So Brian and Kate and Michael, are they all there? Yes. Yes. It's just Brian and Kate. Yeah. They go out to where they think Scott is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And they film Sam and Dean arriving to this new crime scene. And they're looking at Scott's body, and they, like, half of his heart is, like, up the road.
Yeah.
So they then go back to the house. Michael is asleep on the sofa, and Brian wakes him up. And again, he gets really mad. He's like, did you eat a human heart? And Michael's sort of feigning ignorance. He's like, what are you talking about? And he gets really mad. He says, Scott's dead. He was shredded. His heart's gone.
Yeah.
Kate's kind of like trying to stand up for Michael, saying like, that doesn't mean that Michael, and then it just like cuts him off and says, what do you think happened to it? Where's his heart, Michael? And Brian again yells at him saying, don't lie to me. Eating a heart is self-defense. Who are you trying to convince, me or yourself? Yeah. And obviously we know that Michael is protective of Kate because he gets in front of Brian and says, you need to back off. And he says, oh, why? You're going to eat my heart too? Michael then punches Brian like across the room.
Oh, yeah.
Into a table. And this is where Michael starts to like, it cuts to later. Yes. I don't know who's filming this. Oh, no, I do. Yes, I do. I forgot this happened. Michael is lying in bed with Kate and he's like crying, saying, I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know who I am anymore. And Kate says, you're Michael Wheeler and you're mine. Okay, you hear me? And then it slowly like turns a little bit and you see Brian in the mirror. Yeah. And this was like, I'm thinking of all these like creepers in movies, and this felt very much like American, what was that Kevin Spacey movie? Is American Dream? With the guy who films the plastic bag in the wind.
No, I have no idea about this one.
And like he's the neighbor to the family of Kevin Spacey, and like records his daughter. Like the daughter knows what's happening. Like she's standing in front of the mirror and like gets undressed in front. Anyway, it's weird.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, okay, I remember that scene from that film. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It cuts to later, and Brian and Kate are talking, and they're talking that they have to call the police again, but Kate doesn't want to. And this is where I don't know. Brian says,
Kate, how can you? You have to see what's really going on here. Whatever he is, it's not good. It's not good for you.
So this is where we're supposed to believe that he has feelings for Kate.
Yeah. Yes. It doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Not even close. Honestly, Brian is faring pretty well. To be punched across the room, he's walking around just fine.
He looks okay, doesn't he? I know.
Yeah. And Kate is saying, like, you don't understand, like, why I'm supporting Michael so much. She says, you've never been in love. What we need is answers.
And, like, this is why I think that Brian was into Michael, because she says, you've never been in love. And he gives, like, this little look. There's a look. Mm-hmm. And it's not directed at her. I don't know. I'm big mad about this episode.
So this is where the zoom in to hear the conversation happens. Oh, yeah. One of them, but this is the most egregious one of them.
Yeah.
They somehow found Dean, and he's talking to a coroner, but they can't hear him. But they looking through so Brian is filming Kate, and then Kate is like, look, I'll just do this real quick. Zooms into the coroner and Dean, and it's just more details of the creature that would have attacked them. And the coroner's like, well, we don't have anything bigger than like a raccoon. So we don't know what this could be. Yeah. Which is, I think is really funny, because this city doesn't seem like a small town. It actually looks like a populated place. So it's kind of funny that, like, I mean, maybe that does make sense.
Yeah.
I guess you would get rid of all the the bears and wolves and stuff.
Less likely to get eaten by a bear in, like, middle of town.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. No. Sam then appears saying that, like, the local files are not online, so I had to go to the records, and, like, 10 years ago there was something very similar, but it wasn't at the time of the month. Mm-hmm. I do love how they kind of refer to
werewolfing,
like werewolvism, as like a period.
Lycanthropy. Is it
like a menstrual cycle?
Is it just a joke about menstrual cycles? Is the whole werewolf?
I think so.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I might. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
There was something else that somebody said earlier in this episode that I was like, oh god, is that a menstrual cycle joke? I don't know.
I do get big mad, so it's all good.
Yeah. So Sam and Dean decide that they are going to go hit the books and feed the monster, and, like, Dean taps his belly.
Yum, yum.
Yes. So they follow Sam and Dean.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I got that confused. Michael and Kate have gone to find the coroner.
Oh, yeah,
Brian has stayed behind. I guess because that makes sense, because Kate doesn't really want to be around Brian right now.
Yeah,
she's more on Michael's side. For some reason, I switched those two. Mm-hmm. Because Michael and Kate are talking near the vehicles, and then Brian shows up.
Yes.
And Michael's like, how did you even find us? He's like, GPS on your phone, duh. Like, read the room, man. They don't want you around. You want to snitch on your friends.
Yes.
And they are trying to find a way to, like, help. No, okay.
Yeah.
And even Michael says, you're starting to creep me out, man. Mm-hmm. And Brian just says, the feeling's mutual, dude. It's like, is it, though? Like, is it really creeping you out, Brian? I don't think it is. No. I really don't think it is. Because you've already said that you want to be like him. Yes. You want his powers.
And he's still pursuing it. They don't know that yet, exactly. But you are. Yeah.
Kate then asks, what else can you hack into? And he says, anything? Like, okay, super nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd alert. So we see, like, footage of a restaurant, and Sam and Dean are inside ordering food, but they can't hear anything because the cameras don't have audio. Mm-hmm. So one of them is going to go inside, and they decide, Michael just volunteers himself, and he just goes to sit next to the table. I guess because he's just, like, another dude, and, like, Sam and Dean wouldn't pay attention to him.
No, yeah, that's fair.
And he, like, adjusts the camera so he can see and, like, have the recording equipment. And Dean has ordered 2 burgers. And he says,
hey, I didn't eat a big piece for like a year, okay? Clear eyes and clogged arteries. Can't lose.
He's so right. He's so right for that. You eat your 2 burgers, Dean. You deserve them.
Exactly. Yep. So some time has passed, and they're looking at all their research books, and they've discovered it's probably an alpha that can change without going with the lunar cycles.
Yeah.
They also don't black out during transformations, and they can control themselves. I don't know how that's important. in this episode?
It's because of the professor, and it gives Kate some hope as well.
Yes, I think it's, well, Kate wouldn't. Okay, actually, I think purebloods and alphas are actually different in this.
No, I think it is an alpha because it just says up to 4 generations from the alpha.
So okay.
Yeah, you just have to be like within 4 removed from the alpha, and you're good.
Okay, so yeah, that's why Michael can remember what he did.
Yeah,
and why they will let Kate go, because she can remember what she will do. She's not going to just go off and be insane.
Yeah, I do feel like if she'd just been a werewolf, a normal werewolf, they may have gone and killed her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That clears up quite a bit, actually. I kind of start to lose interest in the episode at this point. Because I was thinking, like,
if Garth is the same.
Oh, you know?
I'm interested to know that.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah.
So they're hunting what they call a werewolf with a pedigree.
That's good.
And they hope that Silver can kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the end of that conversation. They're going to try and find who the alpha is in this area. Even though he's managed to not go after anybody for a while.
Yeah.
So Michael, Brian, and Kate are like reviewing the footage that they gotten of Sam and Dean at the restaurant. Because it's like the tail end. He says, "Told you there was a case here. Now we just got to find it and kill it." And Michael's like, "I'm a werewolf. A werewolf?" He went from being a golden god, which is almost famous reference, by the way.
Oh yeah, it is it?
Yeah, I looked it up real quick on Word.
Oh yeah.
Kate's like, "Whoa, hold the brakes there, man."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Calm down, I'm a werewolf." And the FBI is trying to kill me. Kate, again, being the voice of reason, is like telling everybody to shut up, and clearly knows that these guys are not FBI.
Yes.
The FBI don't say awesome that much. That's
He said it one time. He said it one time. Stereotyping, my boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And they definitely don't hunt and kill college kids.
Yeah.
Well, depends on what those college kids do. And what they threaten. So Michael inquires, like, what else they talk about, and he says, "Dude, they said that they sat and talked about how they've been apart for a year. You're probably right about the office romance thing." So I mean, Kate is like not worried because, like, looking at the big picture, they don't know who Michael is. They don't know who they're looking for or whatever bit you in the first place, the pureblood.
Yeah.
That gives us some time to, figure out what to do. And Michael's like, "So what? I'm just gonna have to eat chicken hearts for the rest of my life?" And I was just thinking, like, that's not that unusual. Like, steak tartare.
It's not that big a deal. Rather than like murdering people, I feel like it's not that big a deal. Plus you get super strength. I don't know. I feel like he's making a big deal out of something that, like, you're not gonna get killed by like the hunters that are coming to get you. You're just gonna have to eat some chicken hearts.
Right. Exactly. He storms off. I get that. Like, he's also, that's not Michael speaking though.
Yeah,
that's
true.
just the werewolf side saying, like, I want to be fed chicken hearts. I want a human heart, kind of thing. So Kate goes after Michael, and they're like talking in the bedroom, and then Brian, with eyes of a hawk, is reviewing the footage and like of Michael getting bitten. Yeah. And like somehow managed to see something on the ground. I was like, what are you looking at?
No, I couldn't see it either. It's not just you, don't worry. I was like, what is he? I mean, it was obviously going to be the pin because they made a really good point of like zooming in on it in the lecture hall as well. Yeah.
Exactly. See, which is where I thought as well with Scott, he would be, because the pin is like a fraternity sign. Or
That's
it looks
true.
like it could be.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, yeah, maybe Scott is also a werewolf in his little clan,
I thought so
his
too.
little wolf pack. Would have made it a bit more interesting, but there you go. But he goes to the professor's office and he sets up a camera in the corner, and the professor comes in, and Brian just holds up this paper and says, I know what you are.
Okay, so back at the house, Kate is leaving, which I don't blame her. Right, let's go.
Yes.
Because she says we're leaving, meaning her and Michael, they're going to go on the run. Those guys, they might find Michael, she says. She's worried they're going to kill him. And Brian's like, no, you don't have to worry about anything. I took care of it. And Michael's like, took care of what? Kate says, what did you do? So we cut back in time to the professor's office. Brian's holding up the pin and laughing at him, saying, I know what you are, as he films him with the handheld camera too. Mm-hmm. And the professor is like, yeah, I've been looking for that. Like, where did you find it? And Brian just comes out with like, you bit my friend. So he goes, stop. He says to him, like, stop trying to cover it. Listen to me. Like, I've got a hidden camera in here. It's feeding back to my laptop at home. So if anything happens at me, and the professor's like, well, nothing's going to happen to you. You know what? You need to calm down. And Brian straight up asks him to turn into a werewolf. The professor says, Brian, I don't know where you like. And then he's cut off, and Brian threatens him with a silver knife and says, you don't know? Really? Well, how about I cut you with this? So there's a bit of back and forth still between them. Brian saying that it's made of silver. And there's like a kerfuffle.
I don't understand how Brian overpowers the professor. Like, because he literally pushes him into a seat, and like, I know he's afraid to be cut by the silver and killed by the silver, but like, Michael managed to like throw you across the room. You think that this guy would be...
Yeah, but when Sam and Dean kill him, he thanks them.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think he was like not putting up a fight.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You are right.
But I think he ultimately kind of does. It's a bit strange. I guess his survival instinct, right? Of like, he doesn't want to be a werewolf anymore, but he's still having to fight against this kid. Mm-hmm. Because the professor is trying his best. He's like, look, you're not what I'm not what you think I am. And Brian's like, well, I don't care what you are. I just want you to turn me. So the way this is staged is that the professor sat on this like seat, and Brian is covering his face. Like, it's stood in front of him, so we can't see the professor's face. Mm-hmm. So we just hear the noise of the professor transforming. We don't see it. It's gross. And we hear his voice change, like growly. And it's like, I don't want to hurt you. And Brian says, you're not going to, because if you do, all this winds up on CNN. So then we just see them back at the desk together. It like cuts again. We don't know what happened in between this time. Brian's asking about what happened. This other guy that was killed, John Carter? That sounds
Jacob.
wrong. Jacob Carter. He's like, what happened? Did you just stumble into him and wolf out? The professor explains that, like, you never lose the taste for human hearts. You can, like vampires, right? They can stop drinking human blood, but it's like an addiction. He says, once you've had it, it's almost impossible to control the monster inside. But I did until last week when I fell off the wagon, they say. You got no idea how hard it is. I've trained myself not to hurt anyone. I have trained myself to do so, to choke down those other hearts. Brian's like, animal hearts. Says, yes, I've been clean. Like, they even talked about it like addiction. They use the same parlance, same vocabulary. So the professor saw Carter alone, and he's like, he looks so weak. And he's like, it's hard to cover things up nowadays. I knew a hunter would catch wind of this sooner or later. And Brian tells him, like, they're here.
You needed a patsy. Michael.
Yes. The young man who sleeps through most of my lectures. I mean, who would miss him?
Me.
He doesn't say, and Kate.
Right.
He doesn't say, and Kate.
Yeah, he was always in love with Michael.
So Brian says, I'm doing this because I want to see what you guys see, do what you do. I'm sick of being Piggy. I want to be Ralph. Again, Lord of the Flies reference.
Yeah.
And the professor says, we don't get to choose who we are. This is why this is a stuck in the closet story. See that line? He's like, no. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't fight against your, I don't know. It wasn't very well done, but
No. Yeah.
Brian, like, shows his sleeve off where he clearly got the professor to bite him. And he says, I did. Like, I got to choose who I was.
Yeah.
Back at the house, Kate's like, oh my God. Because they've just watched the same footage we have, presumably. And Michael's like, are you insane? Brian says, you're welcome for saving your ass. Look, watch. The professor spots the camera hidden. He goes to like turn it off. But as he does so, he's interrupted by Sam and Dean, who they have a like, I don't know if it's just like the angle of the camera, but it looks so bad, this fight. Probably because the professor's not supposed to be trying, but like it's also just like, it's not great. It plays out that Dean eventually shoots the professor like many times, and as he falls to his knees, he says, thank you, and dies. Dean says, I've never killed a pureblood before. Sam's like, what was he looking at? And they both spot the hidden camera. And Sam goes like, what the hell? Brian is like, see, like the problem solved. They killed the pureblood, they're moving on, and we're in the clear. Just like you said. And Kate's like, I never said that. Brian's explaining that he did this to protect her. So I did what you couldn't. Michael, smart boy, says they saw the camera, Brian. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? So Brian does this whole speech, this like villain speech almost, I guess, of like, monologuing. Like, you told me, like, I just finally figured out what I want, and now I'm going after it. You thought I was hiding behind this. I was hiding behind you. I am done living in your shadow. I've always lived in your shadow, but now we're equals. Anything you can do, right? And maybe that was part of it too, of making himself equal to Michael, to be in his like orbit, right? If he always saw himself in fear, it's very complex. Maybe it's more to do with Lord of the Flies than I know, because I've never read it. Maybe that's the whole thing.
It could very well be, yeah. It sounds like a really depressing book, so I don't really want to read it.
I don't want to read it either. And also, like, the literary criticism I've seen in Lord of the Flies is that, like, obviously it's like a bunch of schoolboys get, like, stranded on an island and it all hell breaks loose. Is that, like, only, like, private schoolboys would act like that in a situation?
Right.
Like, if you dumped a bunch of any other, like, demographic of people there, they probably would be, like, getting along. But, like, there's something about that kind of environment that they're in, and the classism that's just like, breeds that kind of behavior, and that's the criticism I've seen of it. Of like, it's specifically with this, and it's like a indictment of that kind of upbringing. Anyway, Michael's complaining like, "Do you think this is all a game? Do you have any idea what you've done to yourself?" And Brian says, "Well, you wouldn't bite me, so I had to like go somewhere else." Yep. And Kate's like, you asked him to bite you.
If this is like coming out of the closet sort of story, this is Michael. I'm still going with Michael being bisexual. And
Okay,
Brian knows this, that he is into both men and women. So this is Brian going to Michael saying, hey, I want to explore being gay. And Michael being like, well, no, because I'm not attracted to you, so I don't really want to do that. So Brian goes out to find the weird older gay man who wants to indoctrinate like young gay men into, I don't know, whatever. Like, you know, there is always the creepy.
There's
older
a
gay
dynamic.
man.
Yeah, there's that like, I've heard that.
Yeah, where it's just like, it doesn't feel quite right that there's like a 30-year difference between the two of you, and like this is your first partner kind of thing. So this is exactly what Brian does. He goes and finds an older man to help him explore, and then like the older man is like not really happy with his life and is like, fine, I'll do it, but like I don't really want to do this. Yeah, because I've already done this all.
What? What is this? Like, it's interesting for Supernatural. I thought so.
Yep. And then Brian comes back and says, look, I've lost my gay virginity. And like Michael's like, well, why would you do that with a man you don't really know? Like anything could have happened to you.
I wasn't sleeping with you for a reason. That's basically what he says.
Exactly.
Harsh. Yeah, Russell T Davies could have written this. Like, you know, it's
right.
I'm not saying this is good representation, by the way. This it's bad because what they've done is like they've put a possibly queer-coded character into a villain role here, which is like done to death. Yeah.
Yes.
Done to death. I know he kind of gets his comeuppance at the end, but like, yeah. Yes, so they talk about the fact that like he shouldn't want to be a werewolf. And Michael says, I remember attacking Scott. I remember ripping his beating heart out of his chest. I remember the look in his eyes, dead eyes, when I bit into that heart, Brian. And above all, I remember how sweet and delicious it tasted. And ever since I tasted it, I felt more powerful and out of control. And then Brian, like, grabs Kate to protect her. I'm doing, like, quotation marks.
Yeah.
Saying, like, you're weak. Oh, no, he says more weak. You don't need someone like Michael. You need someone that can take care of you. This is saying this to Kate. And she's like, no. I can take care of myself. Michael's saying, like, let her go. And Brian says, or what, you going to cry some more? No. No, Brian. No. Let men show emotions. I hate that he's baiting him like this. Their whole relationship, all three of them, awful, toxic, horrendous.
Yes.
Except maybe, like, between Kate and Michael, I can kind of see it.
Yes. But I don't think it would have gone the distance.
No.
I think the shine would have worn off.
Mm-hmm. So they do like a werewolf fight. They do a big werewolf fight because they're werewolves now.
Yeah.
And eventually they do this little like tussle. It's so tropey. And Michael's on top of Brian and then rolls off him and he's like stabbed perfectly in the heart with this tiny silver knife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's a werewolf. He's got perfect heart location claws. Yep. I don't know.
So Kate's all like, don't die, but he's dead. Oh no, he's saying I'm sorry, but then he dies.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
He loves him. Her.
He does. There's a whole cute I love you like deathbed scene. Okay. Yeah. He died. I was watching like a recap on Stranger Things the other day because I needed to watch on before I watched the new series, and this guy who was doing it goes like dies every time someone dies, and it was just something so funny about it. I'm gonna have to watch more of his recaps. I think he's just called like the recap guy or the recap man, something like that. Yeah, recommended. It was a really good recap.
So, continuing on from the death scene, and Kate is crying over Michael's body. She pulls a knife out of his stomach and like goes to Brian and like slashes his arm. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Listen, Kate, listen to me. I love you. You understand. You just need to see what I see. After I bite you, you'll understand." Ugh. I hate it. I hate everything about this.
Yes.
I think he thinks he loves her because Michael loved her. Yeah,
I agree. He's just killed Michael and he wants the last bit of Michael that's left, which is Kate. Because, yeah, you're right. Michael loved Kate. Yeah, it's so twisted, his thinking.
Yes. Yep. And it's got nothing to do with him being a werewolf.
No.
He was just a evil, well, not evil, but he was a monstrous human.
Yeah, just really like messed up in his relationships,
Yes.
I think.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of like cutting here because she runs away, he's in front of her, she runs away again, like slashing at him to get away. But then eventually like he picks her up and then it cuts to her like being in the mirror, like crying in the bathroom, and you see the bite mark on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And you hear Brian in the background like saying, "Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Like, we can fix this. Just let me in." It's very
abusive,
toxic, horrible.
Yeah.
Abusive, all of that, yeah. And then Kate screams at the mirror and like sees the bite mark start to heal, and then she like starts screaming, breaks the sink, and then she stops screaming and like picks up the camera and like has this smile on her face. I didn't quite know where they were gonna go with that because like Michael and Brian stayed very much the same as werewolves as they were human. Like their personalities didn't really change. So I was like, why is she smiling? Like what? But it's because she has a plan.
She has a plan.
Why she's smiling.
And Brian's just made her powerful enough to get revenge. It's
Yes.
the perfect ironic revenge. Like I would be so it's like she's like, he wanted me to join him. I will. He gave me this power. I'm gonna kill him with it.
Yep. Exactly. And she yells out, Brian, I'm coming out. I see it now. I understand. And she's also baiting him to let his guard down.
Yeah.
Because he was saying, like, you just need to see from my point of view that, like, with this power, we can be great together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kate then hands over the camera, I guess, to, like, again, bring his guard down. But then she, like, looks down and wolfs out and, like, lunges at Brian.
Yeah.
Swinging, like, the knife and the camera all over the place. I will say, for a found footage episode, the motion sickness of this wasn't that bad for me.
It wasn't that bad, no. Yeah, they did it quite well, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where we see how everything got, like, splattered all over the walls. Because it was Kate going after Brian.
Yeah.
Kate is then, like, crying over Michael's body. And she then covers the body with a sheet.
Yes.
It then cuts to, like, her talking directly to the camera. And she says, I didn't finish Brian's movie to justify what happened. It's, to be totally honest, I'm not even really sure if I understand it all.
I just wanted you to know that Michael wasn't always a monster. None of us were.
Brian, questionable.
Yeah.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was just a confused kid that needed.
Yeah, we're being harsh on
someone to
him.
talk to.
They're all 18, you know. Everyone's kind of a bit weird at 18. You need time to figure yourself out. Doesn't mean you get to be like mean to people and use them like this, but like bad things happen to these kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go to therapy. And there's like a little bit of a montage of them meeting at the cafe, and there's a voiceover of, you know, for 5 years from now, hopefully pass the bar exam, like what she was saying earlier.
Yeah.
What Brian's hopes were of working on for HBO or Michael Moore, and then Brian's hope and also Michael's hope of being on the boat with a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
It then returns to Kate speaking, and the music that was playing at the beginning of the episode starts playing again. And she says, I'm leaving and you'll never hear from me again. Look, I know that there's another way. I can eat animal hearts. And she's like crying a little bit. I've never hurt anyone, no one human anyway. I didn't choose this. Please just give me a chance. And then the camera like pans out of how we panned in now pans out.
Oh yeah.
And we see Sam and Dean like sort of sat there after a 45-minute video and watch it like finishes out. There's no credits though.
Yeah, so we're back in Supernatural. As we said, the credits are there.
Yes.
Yeah. And Dean says, oh, so this is Michael. He's like, looks under the sheet, which means that is, and kind of gestures around. It's like Brian Wilcox, says Sam, our friendly neighborhood cameraman. Dean's like, right. And Sam says, okay, like, well, she's got about half a day jump on us. And Dean says, mm-hmm. And Sam says, you all right? And he says, mm-hmm. Sam is like, good, Kate's right. She hasn't hurt anybody. Well, anybody human at least. And Dean says, yeah, she didn't. She didn't choose this. Let's give her a shot. Sam's like, seriously? He's like really very confused. And he's like, yeah. Sam says, Kate pops back up. I mean, if she strays, then no questions asked. They take the like laptop and stuff with them. He's like, we do what we got to do, and we take her down. And Dean doesn't reply to that. No. He just changes the subject. So would he? Who knows? We'll find out, I guess. So. Yeah.
Because this rationale makes more sense from Sam, because Sam has always been sort of grey on monsters. So I think it's ish. I'm still not happy about it, but I do feel like, I don't know, I was just like, when Dean was like, yeah, I was like, no, you go after her and you get her.
So I think Dean's thinking about Benny when Sam's saying, like, if she kills people, will, because he's trusting Benny to be clean, not kill anybody. He doesn't want to have to go after him, and I think that's what he's thinking about.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah.
For this season, I agree. But like in terms of what we've seen of Dean so far up to this season, this makes a year does not change 30 odd years.
It is different. Like Purgatory was so intense, and like the bond he has with Benny is so strong that it's like mixed up his worldview about monsters.
I guess so.
Plus, they saw her backstory. You know, who couldn't feel sympathetic? I don't know. Like, no, Dean's changed. He's changed, man. Like, he'll be climbing loads of monsters next episode. You'll see it. You'll see.
Yeah. No, well, it's a Benny episode, so no, that won't.
See, it all ties in, man. Season 8.
Yeah, it does.
So Dean changed the subject. He says, "Hey, Sam, do I really say awesome a lot?" Sam's like, no. He's like, He like goes to follow Sam and then like pauses to look at a picture of Kate that's on the like cork board they have, and he's like, awesome, like but in a sad way.
Yeah. Aww.
And he puts her iPod back on to play as he walks out of the door. And then we see Kate. She's on some train tracks with a little backpack, walking into the sunsets. I would say never to be seen again, but we do.
We do. 10. We'll see her in 2 seasons.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the episode. Yeah, did I enjoy it? I don't know. No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, it was an improvement on last episode. I'll say that.
It was definitely an improvement on last episode. That is fair.
And because it ties into the themes of season 8, I, as harsh as I've been on Dean, I do get what they're trying to say, and that is that.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah. I think it all goes back to what we said at the beginning. We talked about the beginning of this episode about it, and I don't really enjoy fan footage episodes, but I think it's a good way to demonstrate the change in Dean after Purgatory. I thought this was a good way to do that, because they definitely would have gone after her previously.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No questions asked. And I think with the Amy experience, I think Sam would have also been okay to go after her at this point. And he's just putting out there the plan if she strays. But honestly, if they probably will never think of Kate again. Like, they will, but
that's so right.
Really, they will never think of Kate again.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, well, that's that one. Dusts off their hands. We did nothing here. Oh, they killed that. They did kill that other werewolf. They did do that.
Yeah, they did. I guess they did. It is very funny to see, like, because we have no idea how they found out who the werewolf was.
Oh yeah, true.
But I'm not mad about it, because we're not seeing it from their perspective in this episode. We're seeing it from, these kids.
I reckon it was like the 10 years ago was when that guy got bitten, I reckon. And that was the thing that they were connecting all together. It was like they knew he had got injured or something, and then he come back. I don't know.
I think, isn't the professor the original, like, he's the pure, well, maybe he could be second generation.
I don't think he's the pureblood. No, I don't think he is.
Yeah.
It was too easy a kill for them if he was.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh.
Which means Kate is very borderline, because she
I
would
think
be
they're
the
like
4th generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the next episode is Blood Brother. As Annabelle alluded to, it's a Benny episode, and I'm looking forward to it. I think that's good. I don't know if Sam's in it much. I don't know.
I feel like this is the entire season. No. Where is Sam? Let's play this game. Where is Sam in each of the next episodes?
Yeah, what's Sam doing?
Has he gone back to his Amelia? I don't know.
I do think they split up, in the next episode. I think that happens a few times. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Love Benny. Love his character. Looking forward to seeing more of him.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Well, at the end of this episode, we'd like to thank the Pixelagore for his amazing logo art. And if you would like to get that on some sort of merchandise, you can at our Redbubble store. And if you want to come talk to us about season 8 and where we're going, you can all over the social medias. We're on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, some other places, Bluesky. Just search for Escaping Purgatory Podcast or Escaping Podcast on Bluesky.
And yeah, this week we ran through some woods with some shaky cameras. So hopefully next week we can find our way out. Bye-bye!
Bye!